There we go. Well, if we are live, what is going on, my Tana Maniacs and my Circus Freaks? And welcome to the European Smash Crew Invitational. We are Itano Circus, and I'm joined here by M1.
Hello, 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 and welcome
to
right into
to the first game, which is going to be Edwardi coming in from Finland. Very, very, very patient, intelligent Lucina player who I had a wonderful experience with at Valhalla, and very excited to see what he can do today.
Yeah, pretty much one of our main Fire Emblem players. There's a lot of them here in Finland.
Yeah, I can't quite make out the the Italian player's name.
I do think it's Generog.
Generog, okay.
Yeah. One of the PR members in Italy. I think he's actually the third one. Yeah, that's really good. So this is going to be a really good match. And, well, you can already see that Edward in a bit of a bad spot. But, hey, it's charge out on the ledge, and he gets out scot-free.
Yeah, he sort of gave up. He gave up stage control when he had it given to him quite easily, right for a split second. Manages to get his back, gets the jab block, and the F smash. Not going to be quite enough. Charizard is a big boy. Retreating there, not quite going to put him back off stage.
Oh, that's bad. He's burned most of his jumps. And Edward wasn't really ready for that Flare Blitz. Really good.
Yeah, that's Flare Blitz. If it's at the top of your mental stack and you read that it's coming, you can make your opponent's life extremely difficult. You can make them regret that decision so hard. Yeah,
that move it ain't really the greatest when your opponent is ready for it. But come on, this is 182. This just tells you how really good that Charizard is for survivability when I say that, and then he dies to an up B from the center of the stage, actually.
Yeah, the Dolphin Slash at that kind of percent is going to be ripping those stocks away, and Finland draw first blood in this 15 stock event.
Yeah,
and getting a bit too fruity with those nairs. Jumping in, puts himself in the air above Charizard. You can have that stock taken away from you by that up smash.
Yeah, especially since that up smash is such a good anti-air tool. And for example, Lucina's nair. Oh no, he should be alive. Oh
no, he's not living.
Bit too low. I think he could have maybe skipped the Ivysaur and tried to go straight for the jump spot. That is an unfortunate thing to see because, especially in a crew battle format, your stocks are so important. Losing one of those is such a huge detriment.
Oh wow, Edwardi again. He's not going to show any mercy in this situation either. He's doing it for the country. He's representing. No homie stocks right here because this other nation for the next 20 minutes are not your homies.
No. The only homies you have are in your own team currently.
Exactly. There we go. Down tilt, going to force him off that left-hand side of the stage. Applying that pressure. When Lucina sits at the ledge and just empty jumps against you, you just know any one of huge options to expand that threat bubble could be coming your way, and it's so intimidating.
Yeah, it sometimes feels like that there's no correct option for you over there, but here comes the charge of smash. You can just wait it out. That's a bit of a cheeky try from there, but you can totally understand that right now Italy needs to take this stock.
This is what I was saying about Edwardi's play. Very patient, very calculated. He can he didn't panic for a split second there, and that is what the Pokemon trainer player from Italy was trying to get him to do.
Yeah, and there we go, that up smash. It's so weird like for Charizard because he has so many like big meaty hits, and then it's like the up smash that's always pretty much the one that takes it.
Oh, fishing with those up airs as well.
This is really scary for General. He needs to be really careful. But look at the situation where he's in. Who's at the edge all the time?
Well, whoever does take this game, it does tend to be like this isn't such a horrible loss for the losing team. It's a one stock deficit guarantee.
Yeah, pretty much the main thing the winning team is going to take is, of course, the feeling of getting the first victory and getting the motivation to just continue the onslaught.
Oh, absolutely. The momentum is key in these battles. Back air going to whiff over the shield.
This is so scary for General. He hasn't had any idea on like getting at to the center stage. Edward has just been dominating it and just slapping him around.
Yep, holding the center of the ring is so So important, and I'm not too sure Charizard's going to be the best pick, to offensively to be the one to steal out this stock. You're more likely to find yourself hit by one of these massive extensions, and there we go. F-Tilt going to be whiff punishing and taking that first game.
Yeah, that was. It's one of those things that you want to change into Charizard when you're at high percentages, but when you're at like 180, it doesn't really matter who it is. Yeah. There we go. The first blood is drawn by Team Finland. Let's go, Finland.
I suppose what I'm trying to say is all the more character to get hit by, I suppose. And we can start talking about you, of course, representing Finland on the mic, M1.
I'll try to be as. I'm going to try to be not so biased, but I can't help it. Sorry.
In crew battles, commentary is generally considered to be as biased as humanly possible. Nobody's holding you back. I will be filling in place for a hype Italian commentator. I suppose I'm gonna back Team Italy, but but I do have a love of Finland as well. Respect both these two nations. Finland, of course, gave us Lordi. They gave us the Rasmus.
So
I'm a big fan.
Are you saying that? Come on, do you like Finnish music? Is that what I'm getting?
If Finnish music is comprised of entirely of two bands, you can say, yeah, I'm a fan. Let's go.
Well, I mean, it's one of those amusing facts about Finland is that, like, I think per capita in the world, Finland produces the most like metal bands, which is kind of hilarious.
I suppose, but I hear that the amount of metal music your country makes is directly correlative to how much sunlight you get.
Yep, that's the whole thing. We get sun so little, so it's like it's no wonder that most of our like music's like death metal.
So looking at, you've got the Italian PR to hand, and the list of Italian players we've got potentially coming up. Who do you think Italy might want to send in to deal with a Lucina on one stock remaining?
That's one of those things, because in this situation, you kind of don't want to blow in like a super counter pick, so to say, because it's just one stock. You kind of want to prepare for the next match and things like that. So you might not want to throw in anybody who gets like super hard countered.
Yes, this is true. So if you send in somebody who does get hard countered, you can find yourself losing more stocks than you would potentially than you would really want to just to get rid of this one character. It can end up feeling like a small victory that you've gifted your opponents in that sense. You can have them pull back a little bit more.
Yeah, now that I look at the characters we have here on the Italy side that we've been given, of course, these are not set in stone. They can just pull out a random character if they feel like it. But of course, we do have, if they want, there is the Lucina Ditto, if they want it.
Yes, Italy also have two jokers at their disposal. Arsene not going to have too many problems dealing with the Lucina on one stock, and of course, we've got Firstbones sitting there. I believe that makes Firstbones the captain as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
So there we go. We've got a plethora of strong counter picks. Even a Robin and a Ken. Ken as well. One tap at like 60 to 80% can just delete that final stock.
Yeah, and
make it all even.
Yeah, and there's also one small tidbit that I can share now that hopefully Team Italy isn't listening to us, but most of our people kind of hate playing against the Shotos, so that might be kind of a good option for when you consider our own team. Please, Italy, if you heard this, you are cheaters, so don't do it.
I want you to know that is the bracket equivalent of screen watching, listening to the commentators and being in there on stream chat. But then again, in the original Mario Kart, screen watching was encouraged. A little bit of trivia there. It was in the instruction manual for the game.
Oh, really? It was?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, so now I'm actually justified for all the years and years I've been playing Mario Kart. Thank you. I'll remember that.
So moving on from us to the chat, let us know who you think Italy should be sending in right now, because that is probably going to this person is probably going to take this final stock of Eduardi's one way or the other, and that then determines the entire wheel of counterpicking going forward from here.
Yeah, because of course the most important thing for Italy is to take this stock without losing any. So of course one of the things is that you may not, for example, we talked about how the Ken could be one really good counter pick, for example, because he can get so much damage and can kind of take the stock easily. But there's also the kind of flip side that, for example, Ken, if Lucina gets him off stage, that can be such a headache for the Ken player. So there's also that you always have to think about that. Do you want to kind of go in with a really offensive character who could lose one stock, or do you want to go maybe for a more kind of all-around character that might not take it immediately but is more secure on, like, he's not going to lose his own stocks?
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. You can regarding Ken and his offstage game versus Lucina. Ken's it's because Shoryu is such a scary move. People sometimes presume that because it looks like Dolphin Slash, it has all of the safety coming back to the ledge that Dolphin Slash brings with it as well. No, they've sent in. Is that first bones they've sent in?
I'm pretty certain, yeah. That is because that's another thing. Do you send your like best player early, or do you save him for last? But here we go. No, that's
that is is that not first bones? I see Ina in the chat.
Yeah, it's weird because he's not using like his name as a tag, so this can be really hard. But there's no other Lucinas mentioned over, so I'm gonna have to guess that he is. So this is a power play from Italy, if that is true.
Yeah, make it back in as much more as possible. And we're seeing the juggles starting right now. Eduardi stuck above Palutena.
Yeah, and that is...
Want to be.
I mean, even with the Dolphin Slash and things like that, it's not like the get out of jail free card that some people might think. So yeah, Lucina can get really easily comboed in certain situations.
And we can already see the explosive flame coming out as a conditioning tool. I'm going to put this area denial tool right here, and you've got to avoid it.
Or something like this happens.
A total of 48 seconds that lasted, and Italy going off in the chat. We know they're getting hype for their boys and girls.
Actually, that was Dynamo, right? Oh yeah, he's listed as a Joker, but yeah, that might. I'm pretty certain that it's not for first bones. Actually, sorry about that.
Yeah, our mistake. Then again, the expectation of who you think your opponents can play, and those hidden pockets. The problem with doing that in a crew battle is once you've gone a character as a counter pick or perhaps a secondary, you're locked into that character.
Yeah, that is of course one of the kind of the main things that I really like about crews is that kind of the winner stays on. They have to keep the stock count they're at, but they kind of always get the opponent gets a super counter pick, like their character locked. They only get 2 bans out of all our stages. After that, it's completely free real estate.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's just one of those things that you commit to.
Mm-hmm. Of course, now the question is that it's Palutena. We all know that she's pretty good, and the first thing that comes to mind that like who would we actually even send in? Because most if you look at the Finnish characters that usually they use. We have Edward, of course, who already dropped out. We have Geni, who is generally plays Snake, House with the Ike or Fox, Cass with the Puff, Lancelot with the Crom, Metabug with the Luigi, Arsko with Diddy, Mist with Younglink or Roy, Ode with Roy, Zatsu with Banjo. None of those really sound like I want to go against Palutena immediately.
Okay, so here's where we can listening to some of those characters. I heard 2 things. I heard Young Link and I heard Banjo. And all I'm going to say is crew battles are great and everything. Don't forget where you are. We're not in any central place. We're on Wi-Fi, baby.
Yeah.
We are team Wi. I am team. Send out your toxic Wi-Fi characters when you have a problem.
That is definitely a tried and true option in these cases.
Have you seen the UK team?
Yes, I have. What the hell?
Listen, we're playing to win. But anyway, we're not here to talk about my nation. We're here to talk about the decision that yours has in front of it. You can go with the counter power play, and when your opponent sends out a really strong pick, you can send out your strongest player and then let them go and give them free reign to try and steamroll as hard as possible.
Yeah, Lancelot is definitely an option because he's, of course, it's it's obvious that he's the best player we have, and he's been playing for so long and with so many other people. There's a lot of Palutena experience in that man.
Oh yeah, of course. And Palutena, you see that character played at the kind of level that Lancelot exists at in this game, for example. To quite a bit, and just being a player of that level, you start to see you get a lot more experience with these high tier characters.
And by the way, I do have to give shout out to all the Italian people in the chat. I don't understand a word you're writing over there, but there's passion. There's passion.
Yeah, I believe the phrase being Forza Italia.
Well, I mean, all the Finnish people, where are your perkeles? Come on, yell at your boys. Come on.
I don't think I've seen a crowd support this one-sided since the French invaded Albion.
Yeah, but there we go. The selection is going to be missed, and he is going to go with the Roy.
How do we say this name, M1? Mist?
Mist. That's just Mist.
Mist, okay.
Yeah.
My screen is slightly pixelated, so player names are a problem for me.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Thankfully, the stream itself is really in a good shape, so it doesn't really matter for you guys watching it. But yeah, this is again one of those things. I kind of feel like with all the like Fire Emblem characters, it's kind of like those situations that, okay, do you get hit or do you like hit them first? Because those are kind of common sometimes.
So, what you just said, these Fire Emblem characters, I personally find that if you take to the air before they do, you can get a hitbox out first, and then you can stuff them out, and that's how you have to commit to that option, though. You have to be first up there in the air. If they've jumped, especially Roy, if Roy's jumped first and you try to challenge him, you are going to lose that exchange, and he can put you into really nasty situations like the one Mist was just in.
Yeah, that could have been easily a stage bike. Then you have to be, especially on online, you have to be extra ready for all of those tech situations. But all in all, this is actually going really evenly, this match. They're pretty much trading blow for blow, and already both are at 100, so we should start seeing the first stock being lost in.
Of course. You're sitting there at that ledge. You don't want to be there for too long. Palutena sitting there with that down tilt loaded.
That was so close. This is okay. Then other grab. Do we get the up? No, not again. Unfortunately, I think
so evasively.
Yeah, and there we go. The back throw. Not gonna take it yet, but oh no.
He's got no jump.
And the counter.
Yeah. So you find yourself in those situations where both yours and your opponent's kill confirms and setups don't work, and it just comes down to a point there where you just need to get the hit. I know that's very simplistic to say, but sometimes it rings true. You just need to get the hit.
Yeah, he just goes to the scramble, like who gets the first proper hit. But that's the nasty part about losing a stock against Palutena. Like Mist has been taking almost 70% without almost any retaliation at all. But nice back air gets him to center stage and stage control. Can he get the edge craft? No.
Wow, just getting there in front of that explosive flame as well. Jab, shield pressure.
And that's again one of those situations that you mentioned. There's no jab back air anymore. So you have to be honest about your kills right now. But thankfully, Roy has a lot of like potential tools to like forward tilts and all of those that will kill. But it's just looking really grim right now. 94% already.
Mist is starting to look a little bit desperate to get this stock. We saw them throw out that up smash, but the dash attack's going to come through and claim it.
Yeah, that's really good. But again, look at the situation. 100% already. You get the same situation you had before, and there we go. Almost the same exact sequence, except this time it was you needed just this gentle push of the wind.
Yeah, Finland may be regretting the decision to send a Roy out against the Palutena, who apparently does have these edge guards locked in.
Yeah, and this is you're going for a ride with the Nair, and it's just the percentage seem like they're almost dead even, but unfortunately there's a one stock difference. Mist really needs to rack up some combo damage, because currently Palutena is still at those percentage where you can kind of rack up the damage easily when you get one of those hits in.
Yes.
The problem is, how do you get the hits in?
Yeah, Mist needs to get in close and get like a jab combo started, and then once the advantage state begins, really chase hard. And Roy is the kind of character who has explosive kill power, but it's a long mountain to climb all the way back, especially when you're thrown into disadvantage states such as this, and you're back in the blender. Makes it back to the ledge.
Thankfully, this time the laser's not catching him, because that would have been the third time's the charm, and that would have been it. But here we go, missed again. He has kind of the center stage right now, but again, it's just that he's not really Oh, I hate when that move works like that.
Yes, sometimes the ball just doesn't come out.
130 though. Because this is scary, because we're already approaching the situation where Palutena's back throw is going to start killing him, for example. Not really from the center stage completely, but it's scary.
Well, just managed to avoid that defensive explosive flame. That may have been the game as well.
And there we go, dash attack. Oh, just barely not killing, but 150. Roy in a bad spot, has to spot dodge. Nines uses the up B though, just forcing himself in and just staying alive.
Oh, he turned it around and then...
Oh. The scramble situation center stage, and there we go. Palutena gets the up tilt of all the moves to secure the stock and takes the win.
Well, it covers Roy's jump option, and most Royers want to put themselves in that situation where they sit above your head and let rip with one of those really powerful aerials or one of those combo starters. And knowing that in advance, it just lets you know where to put a hitbox. And that up tilt is a pretty reliable anti-air if you get the read on your opponent.
Yeah, this is... It's looking kind of grim. Finland, my dudes, send in Lancelot.
You're calling in the big guns already.
Yeah, because that's one of the things in, like, for example, when you are already, it's like you only have 5 players, you're down by 2. That's pretty much the halfway point. You need to do something before you cross the halfway points. Otherwise, in my opinion, you kind of go to the situation where you have to do, and you start to panic about it. Yeah,
this is true. You don't want the momentum to be built up too far in against you. So, Jestros, can we just get the team listings again and just take a quick look at who we've got on? Thank you. Just who we've got left for Finland to draw upon.
Yeah, so of course, Edward and Mist are already out of the question. So that leaves us with lots of Fire Emblem characters. A Luigi that I really don't think is kind of a good matchup. Neither is the Puff one.
We've also got Zatsu sitting in the back with Banjo.
Mm-hmm.
So Banjo versus Palutena, I have no clue how that match works. However, I don't think many players do. So maybe you can throw a bit of matchup inexperience into the mix just to see how your opponents react. See if you can cause a little bit of panic.
Yeah, except, oh god. If I remember correctly, Zarchi is not available for Team Finland today. Oh no. No, I just remembered he had prior things that he already planned, if I remember correctly. He's not in the Finland team chat currently.
Did you say Zatsu?
Yeah, Zatsi.
Okay.
So there goes the Banjo. We've
got Lancelot in the chat saying he's not free.
Yeah, I mean,
just to cause a bit of panic, in your head as well, M1. Just letting you know your anchors in the stream chat right now saying he's not available to play in this game.
Oh God, Finland! This is not going like I wanted.
So Italy looking in a relatively strong position right now. How many stocks did Dina Mirror have remaining at the end of that?
Does he have 2, right?
2. Yeah, 2 remaining stocks. Finland are taking this decision not lightly.
Yeah, because there's always the whole thing how if we send in Lance right now, he might get a few stocks, get a few stocks from the other, but there's always the kind of it's a scary thing sending your best player in, because there's also always the fact that if they don't kind of perform as you expect, because for example for Lance, you'd expect him to take one person out at the very least, and then some more. There's always the fact that if we send in Lance and for some reason he doesn't perform as we want him to, what do we do after that?
You unplug your LAN adapter and you go to bed.
That's okay.
In this kind of situation, or you pray for a hero.
Yeah, that is. Oh, and the chat is apparently yelling that Lancelot is free. Oh, this is not looking good. Lancelot, keep your mental focus. Get out of the Twitch chat. Focus. Concentrate with your mates. Come on. And there we go. It's actually Cass going to be the one, so it's going to be Puff.
Here we go. Now, Puff versus Palutena. I cannot imagine a world in which Puff wants to sit floating around above Palutena's head.
No, that is a scary place to be in.
There we go. Double taunt to get started, and Cass just.
Cass, can you do it? Yes, Cass! That is the exact way you need to start this. Now rest him and take it 3-0. Sorry about that.
This is 100% acceptable. Dina wants to get started with some of these nairs, but immediate pound says shield is not your best option, sir.
Yeah, that is such a scary thing because even though the rest isn't that strong compared to like melee and things like that, it is still such a potent kill tool in this situation. Okay, turns one. And this is, you can already kind of see that, okay, is this a situation? No. Oh.
Down smash at the ledge, the pirouette, give us a twirl, does not come off. Does manage to retreat though, doesn't give
that could have been a roll read, damn it!
Doesn't give Dina any more stage control in that instance, at least. Dina's sitting on stage control now, but immediately
loses it. Hitbox, the down smash, not gonna hit this time. I don't think it's that easy to actually two-frame with that. But this is still looking good because Puff off stage, those hits are gonna, backer is gonna be really deadly right now.
Having a little bit of trouble falling through the platform was Cass right there. Some suspect DI on that dash attack, almost giving Finland a second stock for free.
Yeah, that was definitely Cass a bit too early with the second nair trying to catch the teleport, but here we go again, get the forward, get the edge guard situation. Kind of a random looking down smash, to be honest, but still, Dana is kind of forced. And there we go, the dash attack, isn't it? That is it, let's go Finland! Back on the map! We're not...
Finland draw it back level. Really good stuff from Cass, coming in, taking 2 stocks in convincing fashion with Jigs over Palutena. Now tell me something, M1, does Cass know something that we don't about Jigs' down smash at the ledge? Is that move actually, is that a viable option in that situation?
Well, I mean, I don't know. The thing is that I don't know really well how well it actually two-frames. But if you saw the first down smash that he had, the angle that it sends is really good. It pretty much sends you like down and away.
Oh so yeah, I call that the cursed angle.
Yeah, that the cursed angle. That's because it is such an annoying thing. Because even though it doesn't kill, it severely limits the options you can use to recover. And Puff with the multiple jumps already has kind of an easier time to catch certain options. So that just makes it even easier.
So looking at the remaining squads, looking at the remainder of Italy's squad, they've got Tuna Link, who did really good at the quarantine series. I think it was the quarantine series or the small games of Europe, the games of the small states of Europe. One of the 2 online tournaments we've held in the COVID age. I briefly remember Tuna Link placing quite well at one of those, sitting there in the back in Italy's squad. Oh, by the way, Finland have all of a sudden found their voices in the chat.
Let's go, Finland. Because that's the worst part about, for example, when we go to tournaments and things like that. You know how like Italy and France and all the like countries are like they're really up and out there for the teams. Finland, in stereotypical fashion, we're quiet. But then, for example, if we were like most of the Finnish people would be like when Cass won it, they would be like, yes, that's like most emotion you get out from us.
The tennis player or the golfer fist pump.
Yeah,
there's no pop-off coming out of Finland, apparently. We can't have that. Finland, you're going to have to step that out. I need some obnoxious behavior. I need some obnoxious cheering in the chat. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, that's one of those things, for example, when in tournaments, it's always amusing when you have like so many people yelling for the team, like for example, French people. Then it's like Finnish people. They're just sitting there drinking beer and it's like, yes, this is good.
So... You would say you are the anti-France then?
Kinda, yeah.
Let's not split any hairs about it. The loudest region in Europe is France, closely followed by Netherlands and the UK as a close joint second. But there is no disputing that France are the loudest. And you're saying that Finland, in terms of crowd support, I want to hear more of you guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Generally speaking, when we have people like coming to like those majors and things like that, there's like me, Zatsu, and his brother Kekkeri. We're pretty much the only ones who yell, and then the rest are like kind of like, yeah. there are some situations, for example, in Valhalla, when Lancelot was fucking bodying people, everybody in Finland was yelling. We were storming the stage and all of that. That's how I want it to be all the time. But unfortunately, that's not really the reality of the things.
Well, those emotions take over when you see a player from your home region getting a big upset like that. For example, when you see like somebody up there on the stage, and that wasn't you guys at home. Being anybody who's ever been to an away game for football knows, for example, or in any sport, you know that the away crowd is always louder. So you want your in-region squads to act like they're out of region all the time.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And this is something I didn't see. This is Pand, who's pretty much, I thought he was Ken, but there we go with the Mr. Game & Watch, the secret counterpick.
Yeah, we're seeing these counterpicks come out left, right, and center. Almost, I think at least 2 or 3 players so far in this crew battle have not gone the character that we have for them on the information sheet, for example.
Yeah. And that's always the funny thing, because you can, like, for example, if you're known for playing a certain character and you have a secret counterpick or secret secondary, just use them.
Oh, wow. The eggs, bacon, and grits at the ledge is just denying Jigs' attempts to get back and snap that ledge. Jigs doesn't have a move to get them to the ledge fast enough.
No, not really. And even though you can throw like aerials into it, it's not always even recommended, because you might just end up trading with it, and that's not good for Puff because she's so light.
Of course, actually, yes, every time Game & Watch up B's out of danger in this matchup, they're going to send Jigs so far away that they just there's going to be some distance to travel before they can restart the pressure again. Oh, I thought it was.
What are you doing, Cuz?
Yeah, that should have been a rest, or at very least a dash attack, showing this Game & Watch far too much respect.
Yeah, that's definitely, you can't really, because Game & Watch it feels like that. They can't. Oh, nice. That was a beautiful back air. But and the taunt. This is what I was about to say. That they kind of feel that they go into their own groove, and then they're like impossible to beat almost. And that kind of exemplifies is like just taunting everywhere and just throwing these fairs, for example.
Falling out of that parachute early, trying to get some offense started. Both players just happy to dance around each other in the neutral. However, Cass has a bit more of a mountain to climb in this situation.
Yeah, one of the things especially is that we all know how good Game & Watch's up B is. The damage isn't usually, when you think about it, it's not that much, but when you calculate the fact that Jigs is so light, that actually is way worse than, for example, for so many other characters.
Cass has no answer out of shield, really, to deal with this Game & Watch. Because every time... Oh my goodness! Rago forward smash! Almost taking a second stock right there. That Game & Watch forward smash is demonic.
It's when you get the sweet spot, it just kills people. I was actually really surprised that, especially in this stage, that Puff of all characters actually survived it. But this seems to be one of those things that, for example, the Game & Watch can throw out those fairs. Jigs isn't that fast, for example, in the air. It can be kind of tedious to try to approach at all.
Eggs, bacon, grits forces him to get off the ledge, and any bit of shield pressure, Game & Watch just says, nope, I'm out.
And the downer coming in, and Cass losing his on the second stock already. This is not looking good for this Finnish team right now, but 89%. He hasn't taken that much damage during this fight, if you consider it.
No, not at all. I think it's solely, one of the things that I'm noticing, it's solely because every time Pand makes, let's say, an error, Cass has no answer out of their own shield.
Yeah, especially since there's always the, like, as we see, I really should start a counter for how many up Bs there's been from Mr. Game & Watch here, but that's one of those things that even if the error is done, like you've said, Puff doesn't have that many fast options, and Game & Watch has one of the best, like, okay, I'm out of here options.
Every single one, just to notice, every single one of Jigs' best shield options start with a jump, which puts her right above Game & Watch, just ready for that up B to come out and just get in your face and get you off me. Get off me again, another one.
This is starting to look really bad, because you're all off stage, 74% on Jigs. There we go, one of the back airs finally lands, taking one stock away. But this is still a grim situation. Can we get some rest combos, please? That would be fine.
Down there.
So I actually wonder, do they, like, I don't know how true all of the, like, Puff's rest combos are. Are they, like, true enough that Game & Watch can't just up the... Oh, and here comes the random up smashes from Game & Watch. I was wondering where they were.
I don't think Game & Watch has an out from the true version of down air into rest.
Okay.
But then again, I don't play Game & Watch.
That is true, but it's just that it's weird because the more times I talk with Kaz about the rest combos, it's like, yeah, I mean they're true, but they're not true. It just feels there's so many like variations on how you hit it and the characters, but come on, what are these up Bs?
There we go. Dare on the shield. Can't really do much about it. And you're just having to hold it. I'm feeling having taken a stop online in this matchup is worth celebrating for Cass. Is pop off.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the icing on the cake would be if he got, for example, a 1 rest over here. So just so the fact that Pond isn't just let to go to the next match with 2 stocks.
That's kind of what I want to see happen at the end right there. And was that a fair?
That was a fair that was just inside jigs all the way until it actually exploded. That was a weird situation, but there we go, forward air.
Well, because of the way that forward air works, is the bomb behaves like a projectile unless you hit it with a hitbox. So I would have expected Jigs to just let a nair rip in that situation, and that projectile goes away unless it hits the floor first. However, apparently that nair did not come out, and when it does hit, that is a devastating move to get hit by, especially if you're somebody as light as Jigs.
Yeah, it is definitely not the greatest thing to be hit by, but now comes the counter pick. We have a Game & Watch.
We have a Game & Watch. You have a Lancelot. You have a Lancelot that you can use. Do you want to throw your ace in the hole? Do you want to throw your PR number 1 in against a potentially tricky character, one that is very difficult to play against offline, let alone online? Kind of, they gets the this is an annoying character to play against reputation because of that up B, for example. Lancelot, main and Crom, does also have an up B at his disposal that can get people off them, for example.
That is true. There's also, of course, when we're at this point, when you were selecting the 4th one, the important thing to remember always is that, well, of course, every time you choose, you select like who you leave. But in this situation, it's even more important because the one you leave is going to be the last one standing.
Yes.
And that's never a easy spot to be, no matter who you are.
Yeah, you've got House sitting there in there as Ike. Ike, I can see having a very difficult time getting in on Game & Watch, but once Ike does get in, the Nair House starts. I guess. You've got Genie. Is it Genie?
Genie, but I think yeah, it's one of these things with Finnish names. Like for us Finnish people, it's easy to say it, but yeah, Genie is how you pronounce it.
See, stream, we're learning today.
Oh, I mean, if you want, I can start teaching you all the nice words of Finland, because meidän kieli ei kuulosta kaikkien mielestä kauhean kivalta, mutta se on oikeasti aika siistiä. I cast a spell on everybody.
What kind of witchcraft is going on in my stream today?
No, but that's the reaction I want from people, because it's so amusing. Like every time, no matter where I am, because Finland is such kind of for example, all the Nordic languages, pretty much Sweden, Denmark, and those, they sound almost exactly the same because they're pretty much from the same language tree. And then we have Finland. I think in our the part of the language tree where we are, there's like one other country that is from the same kind of branch.
Do you know who your linguistic brothers are?
I think it's from
Iceland.
No, damn it! I should have. Every time I say that, I should just actually check out what the actual neighbor we have in the branch.
Well, away from linguistics, we've got, as I speculated, we've got House coming in. Or how do we say that? How do we say that in Finland? I'm going to say House.
Yeah, it's House. That's good.
Okay, I thought there was going to be some mad Finnish pronunciation going on.
No, it's just the English word
going on. But so we've got House versus Pand, Game & Watch versus Ike, and we can see House already revving up the Nair engine.
Yeah, that's definitely a key over here, because when you start that all of those combos going, that sword is pretty big.
pretty big. It will erase that bomb from existence like it was never there. And if it connects within a pretty generous percent window, I can imagine Game & Watch will be deleted.
Yeah, that hit is strong, and again, just like in the last match, Game & Watch again, he's not really that of a heavy character.
Oh, there we go. There's that trampoline sharking through the as House tries to shark through the platform, just says, "Get off me."
Yeah, that is such a good getaway card over here. And the thing is that Ike isn't really that mobile. It can be really tedious to try to just catch Game & Watch when they're using that up B.
Yeah. The chase isn't something you want to invest a lot in. As Ike, I would imagine your objective when you get that up B is just to take center stage again. When you see that up B come out from Game & Watch, you don't really want to try applying too much pressure. Get off me. Ike has Aether.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Good option because, for example, we can see that Pan is kind of just, of course, using those fares. I mean, just armor through them, slap him out of the air.
We saw a whiffed conversion there from House as well. He landed the nair, but missed the up air.
Yeah, but this is again a scary situation for House getting stuck on the left side. Pan is just... It's so nice to see how well he's like just calmly playing his game. He doesn't really consider the fact that, okay, Ike wants to do things, I'm just going to do my own thing.
I just want to call attention to... I respect Pan's just letting Judge rip in neutral, just rolling the dice. Oh, and an up air catches him jumping one time too many, and he manages to get the first stock off the board in favor of Finland. Pan trying to go for a little bit of cheese, and maybe Karma biting him a little bit there.
Yeah, but this is a good situation for Pan. Oh, he overshoots it! That's not something you want to see, no matter who you are. He tried to go for the platform.
The Finland squad in the Team Finland Team Finland private chat must be all shaking their virtual heads in disgust right now.
Pretty much, yeah. Thankfully, though, there's... Well, I can't really say thankfully because this... Okay, the Ether just armoring through, but this... It kind of feels that this whole match has been pretty much Pan just saying, what do we do? And House trying to retaliate into it.
Yeah, absolutely. It would seem like Game & Watch. It would seem like Game & Watch takes the initiative in this matchup, and Ike just tries to find the gaps.
Mm-hmm. And hope that's it. It's one of those things where when you try to find the gaps, Ike isn't really the fastest character to just kind of capitalize on all the gaps. It kind of almost has to go for a read. I don't know if I'd call that a read, but it was a nice forward tilt.
Yes, the pivot cancel forward tilt was just placed exactly where he would be. I would definitely call that a read. You can call that a read. I'll give you credit for that. I think you're living in his head.
No, that's true. But though that was again a really scary situation because if you got a bit too late on the forward tilt, we already saw that the down smash was coming. If that hit and you get buried, it's pretty much GG's.
This is true. This is true at some disgustingly low percents as well.
Yep, Barry is a fun and cool mechanic, people.
I just like the fact that it was strengthened inadvertently by the weakening of the mashing, just by mashing in general. So you sit there, you get buried, and it's just like you are breaking your controller to get out of it before your opponent can capitalize. You are literally burning the skin off your own thumb, to put it in a disgusting way.
And some of the worst things about that is that, let's say you bury your opponent. There's always the fact that you can kind of also go for the read that, okay, they're going to mash out of it, and I'm just going to catch that. Because there's for so many characters you have berries, you might have those percentage windows where okay, my guaranteed follow-up will not kill, but if I get the follow-up on your mash, it will kill. That also turns it into I mashed so hard, but I still died.
Yes, and do you know which other character capitalizes on that mind game as well? Yoshi with Egle. It's a very similar kind of situation you're placed into. Yoshi's usually try and go for an up smash for damage, but sometimes they just wait. You mash out thinking, oh my god, I'm a mashing god, and then Yoshi just has a down B waiting for you.
Yeah, it's hello.
Exactly. You got Players can get the read on you in those situations and make you regret thinking that you're a mash god.
Yeah, it just feels so. I'd even say it feels worse because you were yes, I got out of it, I'm good, and then no, just
one thing. One thing I've totally forgotten to keep track of in my head is how are we doing? How are we doing in the scores situation right now? Did House lose a stock in that game? He lost a stock in that game.
Yeah, he lost a stock. So he's 2 stocks. So Team Finland is 1 stock behind currently.
This is not a gulf that Finland cannot make up.
Yeah, definitely no. Of course, the interesting thing for both teams is that they do both have their ace in the hole still unused.
Yeah, we shall call them the anchors.
Yeah. So again, one of the things is that so we have Ike on Team Italy's side. It's because they have the counter pick. So who will they actually send? One of the things that I kind of feel that first bones Palutena, that could be a really power play here. For example, let's say there's a situation where they send him in, he takes out 2 stocks without losing any. That is a bad spot for Finland and a really good spot for Italy.
Yes, they have invested in that case their PR number 1 as well. In that sense, if they invest that, they could then end up with Firstbones at a stock deficit versus Lancelot in the final game, potentially a 1 stock or a 2 stock deficit. That's one of the things you need to really be careful about when you're playing around this sort of anchor style strategy. When you save your best, not quite for last, but just towards the end, and then when they inevitably get they have that stock ground away from them by your opponent's ace in the hole, you've then got a much weaker player sitting in behind them. Not saying that any of these players are necessarily weak. I'm sure most of them would absolutely slap me, but they have. But you can find maybe your not strongest player having to make a comeback against a player who is on another country's PR at the top. Yeah,
because currently the situation, if we look at the latest PRs we have, of course, for Italy. Firstbones, PR number 1. Mirko, PR number 2. NFL, PR number 5. Porke, PR number 8. So pretty much all the people I think that Italy still has left are on their higher up, the upper part of their PR. We don't really have that many in Finland left, unfortunately. Yeah. But here we go. We actually do have. Oh, Freeland, come! Can I request a tag change, please? Freeland, come on.
Oh, wow.
Firstbones, I respect the guts you have, but if you don't beat House 2-0, man.
This is some disrespect coming out from Italy right now. He knows, even if he wins this, he knows Lancelot's going to be sitting in the back waiting for him.
Yeah, that is definitely...
Maybe it's a bait. Maybe it's an elaborate bait just to get in Lancelot's head. Or he's setting himself up for a little bit of embarrassment right here. House could hit him with a few select nairs, and all of a sudden this is an even game.
Yeah, that is true. And of course, mental strategies, mental warfare, that is definitely A-OK in crews. So props to you, but screw you at the same time.
Speaking of things that are A-OK in crew battles, biased commentary.
Thank you. I love it that you have my back in this situation.
I respect it. I just wish I wish I knew more about Italy as a smashing nation, so that I could cheer on. I could do them the service that they deserve.
Thankfully, the chat is doing that for Italy. There's pretty much nothing about Finnish people there.
One thing we haven't called attention to is the fact that we are on Battlefield right now, M1, and you know what that means for Ike? That means nair, 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 nair. F-tilt at the ledge doesn't matter. Doesn't make use of the verticality of the platforms on this stage.
How does it feel, Firstbones? How does it feel?
Wow, Firstbones is now on even stocks with somebody from a nation he is referring to as Finland. This could all go so wrong so quickly.
Yeah, because that's one of the things in any match, when you get the momentum, when you start feeling good about your gameplay. But oh my lord, what a read from Firstbones.
Knew he was going high.
No-go zone.
Yep. The skies are protected.
Yeah, this is the bad one. Oh, that's something that I really like that House did, is just breaking up the combos from Palutena, because Palutena, if she gets those nairs into nairs into nairs, you get so much damage and you gave so much momentum to that character.
Here we go. House takes center stage. He needs to find a way in. He doesn't want to let another one of those aethers rip with his back to Greenland, because the punish from that will not be insignificant.
Of course, he's doing the smart thing, and he's kind of playing the long-ranged game when House is the center stage. No need to go in there when you can poke it with lasers and those, and catch it again the side B with the up smash.
Oh, and he runs head first into an explosive flame, and this is not a great situation to be in. Sitting there against a very strong Palutena with your back to the ledge, manages to get back to center stage, and I almost called Firstbones Finland because that was their tag.
That's an annoying thing. Okay, back there, not gonna kill yet, but this is a really awkward situation. He really needs to go for the side B. Waits it, thankfully, not gonna get hit by the up smash, but that is such a scary spot.
So this is House's job from here. House's job is to take one stock. Can they survive? No, they cannot, even with optimal DI.
House's job apparently was taking a back air to the face.
Well, we can say mission accomplished in that sense.
Yep. Okay, so
here we go. Here we go. Finland, send them in.
Yeah, we need the lance, but I do have to tell. This is one of the tried and true secret techniques of Finland. First, we give them the Siima, and then we take the Matto alta.
I'm going to need you to translate that.
We pretty much we make them feel good, and then we just pull the rug from under the feet, like psych.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I respect it. Now, more interestingly, what does it? Wait, does that literally translate to that to something like in terms of a literal translation?
Literal translation is what's Siima? Like
I know that Danish has some really weird expressions when you translate them directly into English. Like
no, that's just pretty much me saying a few Finnish words in a English phrase. So that's not one of those because we have those. Let me actually Google. Help me. Finnish.
Somebody's asking me, can I say "Viva il duce"? And I think that's carrot. I don't know what that means, but I'm saying it. I'm maybe opening myself up for ridicule.
Google, don't fail me now. Sorry about the keyboard, by the way, if that actually hears the stream. I am bad at this. I can't come up.
I have no clue what I've just said.
Perkele! Suomi! Just say, okay, we're going to teach you the one word that you need. Suomi.
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 What am I learning?
That's how you say Finnish, Finland in Finnish. It translates to like land of the swamps, because there's a lot of swamps and a lot of like lakes in Finland.
Oh, there we go. Geographic knowledge right there.
Yeah. I'm
learning stuff.
Country of the 100 lakes, I think, is one way to call Finland. But yeah, come on, Lancelot, because, I mean, the ballsy move here from Finland would be not to send Lancelot. Be like, hey, we don't need him. But unfortunately, that would more than likely translate into us losing this horribly. So don't do that, Lancelot. Go and play.
I just spent a little bit of invested a tiny bit of time in thinking of what on earth I just said, and it doesn't seem that bad.
Well, what did it translate to?
Just non-offensive words.
Wait, what?
Oh wow!
Italian people teaching not offensive words?
Yeah,
that's like the first thing you teach to people. 3, 2, and here we go. Indeed, it is Lancelot.
So there we go. Sending Lancelot in. Lancelot going to be going up against 2 of Firstbone's stocks. We have Ace in the Hole versus Ace in the Hole. Italy still with 5 stocks to play with. And oh my goodness, you just teabagged in the wrong place, good sir.
But yeah, this is definitely still, it's a really big hill to climb for Lancelot. Especially since none of the people in Italy that are still left are like people that he could just steamroll that easily.
Yes, and he's sitting at 76%.
And he hasn't done almost anything at all, like 40% only.
One thing I never noticed about From, that individual damage output isn't like incredible. He's got Firstbones at 46%, and he's hit him about six or 7 times. Oh my goodness! Get deleted.
Up you go. And that does not bode well for us because 62. Oh, he tried to go for the jab forward smash.
Yeah, the hard read punish on the panic option, not coming out for Lancelot in that situation. Back air to get himself out of trouble, puts First Bones over on the right-hand side of the screen. Now he's just he's whiffing these combo starters, whiffing those things that are going to get him those tech read situations that he can capitalize on, and just manages to get the up B into the right place in the right time before that up smash can come out again.
Yeah, that would have been such a horrible spot to be put into, but look at First Bones. I mean, Crom is a character who hits ridiculously hard, and he's still living at 128 in Yoshi's. And almost actually barely survived that forward tilt too, but again, every stock that Lance loses right now is such a huge detriment.
Well, never mind thinking about the future and what a detriment his stocks being lost are for the rest of his team. Think about, like, surviving this game first.
Yeah, because that's the way First Bones is playing this. He pretty much has the center stage and the momentum on his side, unless Lance gets that roll read, but unfortunately he doesn't. And into edge guard situation we go. Nice, using the air dodge for once. Back throw. Explosive flames. Up. Oh, wait, where did Palutena go? Oh, over there.
He spaced that perfectly.
Yeah, you can definitely see that Lance is used to this matchup. He's not like always just getting hit by that thing.
Dash attack. Sorry, or was that a pivot cancel?
Pivot cancel left tilt. That's the thing that he loves to do. And there we go. That is an option for... okay, stop the taunts. Show some respect. But there we go. That is a beautiful catch. Just as beautiful as that catch from Lancelot, but First Bones definitely did his job and more.
Yeah, taking 2 stocks off Lancelot right there. That is that's really good for the Italians. Now leaving Finland in dire need of a 3 stock. There's no other way for Finland to survive any further into the tournament without a 3 stock from their PR #1 right now. And the rest of the Italian team must have been thinking about who their counter to Lancelot will be. Lancelot is going to have to go absolutely ballistic on some stocks right now.
Yeah, that is definitely... when you look at the roster that they still have on Team Italy's sides, there's a lot of for example, just character variety that they could throw at him.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. And you know what I would do? I would just be looking at whoever has the best way to cheese out Crom's recovery. Whoever has the best way... I forget what Crom's recovery is called. It's not Aether.
Soaring slash.
Soaring slash. Whoever has the best anti-soaring slash tech, just throw them in, because it will probably work once.
Yeah.
And once is all Italy needs at this point.
Yeah, and the thing that you just mentioned, I kind of the first thing that came up to my mind is the Force Russe with the Rob, for example. The gyros and all of those that you can just harass and just, I mean, think about a Crom off stage trying to survive a hail of bullets and gyros and lasers.
Oh, we've got a Rob as well?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
At the very least, that's what they've said that he plays. Oh, but this is... come on, Finland, don't let me down. And sorry, you're not letting me down at all. You've already done way more than I... Wait, that sounds even worse if I say that's way more than I expected from you.
Is it possible for you to complete this sentence without disgustingly BMing your own country?
Let's go, Finland.
You need Lancelot to rescue your train of thought right now.
And there we go. Okay, so they kind of went with the Trident 2 check because Mercro is the PR #2, so just send the currently the best one you still have up left, because that's
I need something hype from Lancelot right now. I just need momentum to go I need the momentum to go so far in his favor. That is the kind of magic that makes crew battles fantastic to commentate and watch and get behind. And Lancelot, I do want to see you make this interesting.
I want him to get one of those cheesy up Bs when Mercury is trying to edge guard and you just drag him down and kill him at 0.
Yeah,
and then you recover.
You need to be careful with those because Lucina's got that counter in the locker. If it gets red, very difficult.
Yeah, especially in these situations. That was just poor, a bit too poorly timed on the counter, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the bad part. 82 already. You have one stock. And there we come on. Give my boy a chance.
And there we go. Italy takes it. 3 stocks remaining in the stock tank. Italy is going to move on in the bracket, sending Finland home. And we can see those names darken one by one. M1, how does that make you feel?
There's only pretty much one thing I can say. Forza Italia!
we switching teams, boys. Forza Italia.
Definitely. I mean, Finland, you made me proud. Thank you for that, Lance. You could have done better. Come on. I mean, what? But yeah, that was pretty good. I love this kind of crew battles when it goes to the last man standing. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's when it comes down to like just 2 players left, and you've both got it all to play for, and you're representing. There must be no feeling like it. And unfortunately, it was very short-lived for Lancelot right there. But the Finnish can go home holding their heads high. Taking ourselves slightly away from the action right now, let's take a look at the bracket and what we've got left going on. Just going to refresh the bracket real quick.
At the very least, I know already in quarterfinals we do have Germany versus Sweden up and coming. Then we're going to have UK against Spain.
It's coming home, lads. It's coming home. We've got UK versus Spain. And then, by the way, we are told to inform you that this is going to be the last set for the day on this stream. So this is going to carry on Nintendo Next tomorrow at 3 p.m. GMT. They're going to start day 2 with top 8. And that's where we're going to see the quarterfinals take place. So we've got Germany versus Sweden and United Kingdom versus Spain. I'm not too sure whether the remaining 4 matches in round 2 are going to take place tomorrow as well.
No, I think they're actually going right now on Geeky Goon Squad and DAT Team live. And then we have, I think you actually had one match after this that you're going to commentate.
Yes, right? That would be Austria versus Norway.
Yeah, so everything until quarterfinals is going to be done today. And they're going to be on Geeky Goon Squad and that team live. I don't think we're going to have, we're not going to have any matches on this channel anymore, but we still have some matches ongoing and we have one more match to be started. So if you still want some Smash action, you know where to go.
Indeed, you do. So we are going to, that's going to be us signing off for the day.
Yep.
GG's Italy. I've been Etano Circus, and I've been joined by M1.
Hopefully you all enjoyed this whole nice evening this night and all of the commentary. It's been a pleasure, Etano. And GG's.
GG's. Good night.